Hello everyone, welcome. It's our first stream since RuneFest has finished, and we're going to have a plethora of mods joining us on the couch today. Couldn't find my word there. As we'll talk about many different topics from RuneFest. There is a lot to go through, so sit back, enjoy, and let's have some fun. So kicking this off, first of all, on the couch, yeah, there we go, Timbo's got the idea. It is Mod Ramen, Mod Timbo, and Moderator. So
Mod Erator.
Mod Erator.
No.
Erator. It's official. I said it on the main stage at RuneFest.
So it goes without further ado. Obviously, I was not at RuneFest. I missed out on all the fun, but you know, it's just the way it is when you have a family you want to be with. So you guys, I have to ask you, first of all, RuneFest, one by one, how did you find it? What was your favourite moment from it? Ramen?
It was lovely. Like, really good.
Lovely.
I was going to go,
Such
lovely.
a ramen reply, I love it.
what I was originally going to say. It was lit. It was good.
Nice.
It was a very
Even
good,
better.
It was very good. It was lit. No, thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the orchestra the night before was awesome. Nice cheers from back there, thank you.
Mod Shed?
Fish shed.
Yeah, the orchestra, fantastic. And obviously the event itself, being at a new venue, was awesome.
Any favourite bit in particular, or just overall, I guess?
Overall, yeah. Okay. Yeah, go on.
Timbo?
Yeah, it was effing awesome. It was really, really cool. Listening to the Philharmonic Orchestra was awesome. But listening,
I'm not going to pronounce that. You're out of your mind.
but hearing them play RuneScape tunes was even better. It was really, really cool. Main stage was awesome. I got a lot of claps. That's what I like. Thank you.
Have another one for you.
Made a joke on my expense as well. I appreciate that.
And mine.
Yeah, so...
Can I prank both of you?
Moderator, what about you?
Yeah, again, the orchestra was incredible. Mod Shed and everyone on the team did fantastic.
Yeah.
For me, just talking to the players, like you don't get such a great, like the best way to interact with the players.
Sorry, Ramen's microphone just flew off his jacket. Ramen is just, he's just getting very
He
excited.
flexed his chest.
Oh,
Gym,
boy.
you know? No, but like talking to the players, like the interaction you get with the players face to face is incredible. And you only get that at RuneFest.
My God. You put on.
So while so you can tell this is the first stream since RuneFest, everyone. And yes, this is not what I expected. Jeez, it's like I haven't been away, honestly.
Oh.
Are we really just gonna dedicate a moment of the stream to have a microphone being put back on Ramen?
Yep.
Sure.
You're right.
Are we good?
Doing your brow mopped.
Right. So that's the start of it. So that was obviously the start of RuneFest. It goes without saying, obviously, there is a lot for us to discuss regarding RuneFest, but before we do that, I thought I'd kick us off with the game update they released. That is Til Death Do Us Part, courtesy of Mod Ramen, Mod Cell, Mod Days, and Moderator.
Also known as the Black Ops team.
Yep, there you go.
Mod Shrew as well.
Oh, yep, sorry, apologies for that. So,
Yeah.
obviously, it was very kept under wraps initially. We had the little bit of a teaser with the shards in the run-up to it. You know, I think that's safe to say that got people talking a little bit.
Yep.
Always nice to get an XP boost as well, let's be honest. So when the trailer was played during the reveals and the announcement, and then, of course, the game update yesterday, how's it been since then?
Yeah, so it's actually going down very well overall. We are above our predicted engagement by about 50% compared to what we thought we'd do on day one. We literally, we've already hit like 100k, over 100k rifts have been stabilised. So it's gone down from that perspective really, really well. We're seeing like, you've got the 4-hour reset in terms of when you can come back and restabilise, and we are seeing surges of players return every 4 hours.
So just to kind of clarify, just for people who don't understand, you said 4-hour reset. You want to go into a little bit of detail about that?
Yeah, I'll talk more as well a little bit later as to why we've gone for the 4 hours thing, what the thought process was behind that. But essentially, like, so there's two different elements of it. You've got the stabilizing of the rift, which is once per 4 hours, and then you've got the warp treasure room, which is once per day. So in order to get access to the warp treasure room, you have warp chamber, you have to stabilize the rift. So you can come back multiple times to stabilize the rift, but you'd only be able to go into that warp chamber once per day. Yeah, and so as I say, we've been seeing like surges of players returning sort of like every 4 hours. So like it's clearly doing well on that perspective. Like I know that there's been some mentions on Reddit about like XP rates and whatnot. It's not our only source of information. As I say, we've seen we're at 50% above what we thought we would have as predicted engagement by now already. So like from that, it's gone down really well. For every negative comment we're seeing on Reddit, there's also a positive one to match it.
It goes without saying, obviously, there were some hotfixes you guys obviously doing like during yesterday to try and address little feedback points and stuff like that. So you guys are on top of that when it comes to
Yeah, exactly.
reaction.
So we've already done a couple of fixes, for instance, like giving the shard tutorial on its first use with when interacting with the event, just to sort of make sure you've definitely attuned it to the boost that you want. Making sure that you get Slayer XP from the zombies that surround the Necromancer rather than just the Necromancer, because there's a bit of confusion as to like, why am I inconsistently getting Slayer XP? So we've just gone, you know what, you can have the Slayer XP for that as well, and also making it obvious that the zombies around the pillars aren't the right thing to do. Like, because people were just sitting there and attacking them and dealing loads of damage, but like that's not the right thing to do. So it's like, actually now you can't actually deal damage to them, and there is a message to say like, go over to death, go do the rift thing. So yeah, that's gone down really well. As just to say, very quick changes. Obviously, we're monitoring stuff as well. We don't want to make any knee-jerk reactions in terms of the actual content itself. I also would point out that like QA-wise, it's gone down, like bug-wise, it's gone down really well, other than a couple of environment hiccups with the Hidey Hole and the Thieves Guild and the Sign Alive. Like, there's been literally like no real bugs or anything like that with the content. So like, massive shout out to Mod Kel and Mod Shrew. They've done a fantastic job on that, like throughout the whole project. Yeah, and the 4-hour stuff. That's the thing that people have been talking about on Reddit. So I wanted to address as to why we did that, because there was like sort of reasons.
So sorry, when you say why they did that, just clarify. This is the 4-hour thing.
This is the 4 hours.
Cool.
This is the coming back 4 hours to do the rift reset, to restabilize the rift, which you can do say once per 4 hours. The reason behind that was that like normally for events with like the beach or something like that, you can literally just grind it and grind it and grind it for a whole month, and you're taken away from RuneScape. Like you're training skills there in like non-traditional ways of how you'd actually train those skills. And we've had people in the past be like, cool, I've just done the beach or whatever, I've done like 1 to 70 construction. I don't actually know how to do construction sort of thing, right? So that was one reason as to why like not wanting people to feel forced to like grind this XP over the entire month. And sort of like giving
so essentially like a burst in that sense, and then you've had your burst play session, and then you can go out and do your other activities.
Yeah, and the XP rates, if you're doing the meta, is actually favourable as well. Like if you've got bonus XP and you've got the tainted shard charge and on double XP, I mean you can hit like 600k XP per hour. Obviously, it only lasts for about 15 minutes, but you're still getting 150k XP from your time there.
Clan avatar boost is another 6% as well.
Yeah,
and it all adds up.
Plus, you're getting access into the actual warp chamber as well, so you're getting some GP value out of that, clue scroll, stuff like that. So when you balance that out as well, it is quite good. So
it's kind of like a community event. Obviously, we have the community bar, the progress, and everything else. Rewards-wise. Without spoiling too much, is there anything exciting for players to look forward to on the reward scale?
Keep plodding away.
Yeah.
So keep getting the community bar up?
Yeah, so you've got the community bar, which is revealed on there. I mean, you can click on each of those individual items. It will tell you what those items are, etc. They're transmogring, of the horsemen, riders, not horses.
You told me to change that news post, remember?
I know, right? What an idiot. Of the riders, and also the riders' weapons. So we'll be able to get those as a community. They will unlock before the riders turn up if the community does it quick enough. And then, the personal progression as well, which is you going into the warp chamber every day. That also builds up to personal rewards, which we haven't revealed what those are yet. But there's some returning good stuff. There's some new good stuff in there as well.
Awesome.
To play for that.
So, just talking about the content itself, obviously it's not a 1 week and done thing, right? It's something that is going to evolve, I guess, in that sense, as the weeks go on. Is that correct?
It's an escalating event. You're only dealing with death, the first rider. So just as I said earlier, keep plodding along, and who knows what will happen.
Skill and combat pets, are they accessible with?
Yeah.
Awesome.
As our golden rocks, strange rocks, you can get all those from the event, and skilling pet.
On a personal note, I do love how you've added the little interactions between the characters. For example, obviously in Dev's office right now, as one example. We have these little things as well, just the little flavour things that add a lot to it. In regards to, obviously, as the weeks go on, is it expected to be more difficult as the weeks go by, or is it just mixing it up?
I wouldn't say more difficult. I'd say it's definitely mixing it up a bit.
Okay.
Obviously, you don't want to be doing the same thing over and over again. So just as it goes on, things will change.
New things will happen.
Different things to do.
Yeah.
Awesome. I guess just from a behind the scenes kind of thing, you know, what did you guys work on in particular in regards to the content? No, did you guys focus on anything in particular, or if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah.
In that sense?
Go
Oh,
on.
you start.
Oh, there you go.
Go on then. So I did a lot of, like, so you didn't see the necromancer, like the hindrances. I did a lot of that. I also did the rift system itself, so like going in between all the pillars, doing the multipliers of the XP and all of that side of things, and also the interface, so the event interface, working with the UI guys on that. And I think that was largely like that was the big things that I did anyway.
As for my end, mostly worked on the animation side of things, so getting all them spot anims working, the story side. So when you talk to all the horsemen, you'll learn about them, and that's some narrative I wrote, and obviously taking some of the narrative that already existed. And yeah, I think mine was mostly story bits and bobs.
Yeah, actually, speaking of the story, like so obviously we got Moya who's trapped. Where is Samrak in all this? What's going on?
He's chilling down, and
He's just chilling out, is he?
yeah, he's got bigger things than his.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Oh man.
She left and didn't tell him where he was going, so she left and didn't tell him
Yeah.
where she was going. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. Yeah, all right. So apart from that, on the content itself, is there anything you guys want to mention? Is like any tips or anything as like a last kind of thing before we jump into the RuneFest winter reveals?
Charge your shard. It's very useful. Like charging the shard is useful.
I'm glad you mentioned that actually, because LootScape, I need to mention this. At the end of the stream, when we fire out LootScape, if you're, it will increase the charges on your shard by 100. So there you go. Keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, but it is really worth doing, because like that is sort of, I know that people are saying, I can only do it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes or whatever, and then I can't do it for 4 hours. You can recharge your shard in that time to get enough charges to go back into it, and it is useful to have, and it makes the XP a lot better, because I mean you can do literally double XP off of one of the buffs on it.
Oh, awesome. Right, so keep an eye out for that. Obviously, I presume for the rest of October that is going to be LootScape.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so any streams we do in October, you'll have a chance to get an extra 100 charges for the shard. Right. So we're coming to the RuneFest random reveal. So before we jump into that, we have a RuneFest highlight video that is available. So we're going to play that, and then we'll get discussing.
I haven't seen this yet.
No, all right. Are we gonna have some?
So I queued it up and everything, and Shed on his phone. What is this, Shed?
It's so unprepared.
Organise the orchestra.
You ready? Yeah, let's do it.
Sure, why not?
Yes.
All right, so just want to mention, obviously, moderators had to head up, but obviously a big thank you to him for joining us for that one. We've still got Ramen on, because Ramen was, of course, part of the RuneFest hype, and he wants to get involved in the discussions.
Yes.
So, Timbo, let's talk about the RuneFest reveals. Let's go into quite a lot we have to talk about, quite a lot I want to try and get out of the way for everyone who's obviously watching the stream.
Yeah.
In summary, the RuneFest reveals themselves, what did we go through?
Well, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it.
Yeah, of course. Without trying to
on the
spoil it.
Twitch VOD.
And YouTube.
And the YouTube.
Nice.
Should be on the YouTubes now. So what did we reveal? What did we reveal?
I got you. There you go.
No, we so there was Til Death Do Us Part, which is out now. Elite Dungeons 3, Alchemical Onyx, Achievement Bonanza, GameJam updates, Violet is Blue, Needle Skips, Mining Smithing, and Mining Smithing Beta.
I do want to give you a heads up because not a thumbs up because you've said something that's not even on this list. So whoever did this list, Timbo's out on that one. So there you go.
What was it?
He's
Call 'em
missing
out.
the Game Jam updates. Very important Game Jam updates, my ad. Can't wait for that.
Is that everything?
Yeah, I think that's everything that comes to mind anyway.
Boom.
Obviously, as a point to mention, Mining Smithing, we were going to try and get Modjack on, but he wasn't able to make it, so we're
He's
just
too busy with the Mining Smithing.
gonna rattle off a couple of points just to keep that in mind in case you missed it. Beta release November, and the full launch on the first update of January. And just as a heads up, JD, if you don't mind putting this in the chat for me, you can give your feedback here, which is rs.game/msdocs. JD will put a message in the chat for you to give you a link for that if you want to give your feedback on that one.
MS Doc.
MS Docs, but the MS and D caps locks. This is some phenomenal back and forth.
Great preparation.
Alrighty, so obviously there was a lot of discussion that came from the when it reveals. You know, in the past we've done these big presentations where we've covered like stuff in the future, in the upcoming year, and you know what they can look forward to. Let's say at the time 2016 into 2017 and so on. This one was a bit more scaled back in regards to what was presented. Why was that?
So, as many people know, us revealing things at RuneFest is a bit of a meme at this point. We reveal huge ideas that are in very early concept stages. They never make it through our process. We never get to developing them, and they sort of fall on the wayside because we announced them, but we either didn't like them or the players didn't react to them very well.
Pet Park as an example.
Yeah, Pet Park. I remember Valley of Death one year.
Oh, okay. Before my time.
That was a great one. Church of You is another great example that we like to use internally. This time we wanted to just release things that we are absolutely 100% working on and will be releasing before a certain date.
So,
as Mark said, everything we talked about Winter Reveals is coming before the end of February next year.
So it's kind of a way of putting our feet back on the ground as well. So we know exactly what we want to release. We know what players can look forward to.
Yeah, it's building faith back as well. Like I've been to every RuneFest and I've seen every single RuneScape reveals, and I understand where you guys are coming from. And not just me, but us as Jagex, we understand where I was coming from. We wanted to try and build some of that faith back. Sort of say to you guys, no, look, we've got a jam-packed 4 to 5 months worth of stuff, 2 quests, Alchemical Onyx, like an incredible world-like event that's going on with Til Death Do Us Part right now. ED3, which is a huge conclusion with the Ambassador, loads of different modes wanting to play that, like finishing the storyline. We want to talk to you about this stuff now, and then in the future, early next year, we'll talk to you about what's coming out for the rest of the year.
So, I mean, this isn't obviously a way of saying is it going to happen, but normally in these scenarios we have what we call the year ahead. Is that going to be our opportunity to then say, for 2019, here's what we've got?
Not, perhaps. I don't want to confirm that.
No, absolutely. That's why I said, very speculative in that sense.
Yeah, there probably will be more revealed year ahead.
Yep.
But we want to make sure we're not like over-promising again. So year ahead will have some stuff in it, but it won't be this whole grand, we're going to release like a whole bunch of stuff at the end of the year. It's not going to be pie in the sky. It's going to be very much grounded in what's coming in the first couple of months. And sort of like, and then there'll be more communication going forward, like as we go through the rest of the year.
Okay, so let's go on to, I think it's good to do a little refresher to the players of, we have these content teams, who is in them and so on and so forth. So obviously Rama mentioned, his team, the Black Ops team. players might not be aware, there is obviously now a Black Ops team, due to the changing teams and changing people inside the team. So can we try and, I guess, summarize the teams in the RuneScape department, I guess, and then kind of explain, what they're focusing on?
And do you want to take Black Ops?
Yeah, you take your team.
So originally I was in Spec Ops with Mod Ryan, and we got combined. Well, I got moved into Eclipse, so it made sense to call us Black Ops, Eclipse, Spec Ops. So yeah, we became Black Ops, and then there is the Judges, which is Mod Orion, Mod Sova, Mod Raven, Mod Hutch, I think.
Yep.
QA. Then there is, along from them, going through the office, there is the newly named Valkyrie team, which is...
They look after Solomon's and Treasure.
Yeah.
I can't think of mod names. That's like, because we don't call it
Like Mod Mohawk,
Mod
Jam.
yeah.
Yep.
Mod
And
Pebble
then
and so on,
coming
yeah.
along, there's the Ninja team, obviously. You've still got all the familiar faces.
Yeah, Mod Harrison, Mod Melee, Mod KOC, Mod Labcoat,
Mod Hunter.
and Mod Hunter.
And then you move along, and you've got
For Direction,
Four Direction.
which is a minor smithing team,
Direction. Oh, jeez.
which has
Forgot
Mod
about
Jack,
that name.
Mod Jack, Mod Stew, Mod Tomb, Mod, can't remember his name, Mod Farhad, sure, that works. And Mod Doctor, and they're working on minor smithing, getting the beer out ready.
And then we got...
So just go back, the Judges are currently working on November updates, which is achievements,
Needle skips.
They are also working on Alchemical Onyx.
And then presumably they, I believe, move on to Elite Dungeon 3.
Then moving on to Elite Dungeon 3. Elite Dungeon 3 design is starting very soon. What other things to talk about?
Fate. Who?
So Ninja are doing Ninja fixes as normal. They're also doing the Mobilising Armies removal.
Yes.
For Direction, yeah, they're doing minor smithing beta and minor smithing stuff right now. And then the Fate team, which is me, Mod Ryan, Mod Rowley, Mod Iago.
Largo.
I meant to say Mod Junkles then. Oh, God.
Don't say Mod
Someone knows on that. Honestly.
And
Jeez.
the Fate team are working on the XXL project right now, which we are not talking about at all. It is very top secret.
Cool. Okay, so I think one team that we missed on project-wise is Black Ops. What are you guys working on after Til Death Do Us part?
We're working on the new quest, Violet is Blue.
The Christmas. Yeah, awesome.
The seasonal quest.
Which looks amazing.
Awesome.
I'm so hyped for that.
Having such a good time.
Oh, man. Okay, so that kind of summarizes the teams. A little bit rough in regards to how we got to it, but hopefully that'll explain it. I'm sure Rubik or whoever will do a better job of summarizing the team's project, so to speak. But we thought we'd do that just to give you an idea of where the teams are after RuneFest and what they're working on and so on. So you know then who to tweet or who to get in contact with regarding those updates. Right, let's get into 3 big projects and what's going on with them. First off, let's go into bank rework. Obviously, some people...
The projects that weren't mentioned that when it reveals.
Sorry, they were expecting to be mentioned. Obviously, people expected, maybe a little mention of bank rework or Group Ironman or Loyalty rework. So let's jump into bank rework. What's the deal with it?
Just to sort of preface all of it. So the reason we didn't talk about it is because we're not... They're not 100% confident about their design, their development right now. I'm going to go into each one individually, but just to make sure.
Yeah, of course.
The reason why they weren't in the winter reveals is because they're not these things that are definitely coming out.
So preface this in
February.
the fact that we don't think we can get them out before February, so we didn't want to mention them for that reason. Okay.
So for bank rework in particular, we are currently investigating the work to do bank placeholders.
Cool.
That is, however, dependent on mobile milestones. Hello, mobile guys. They currently have all of our engine and platform guys tied up with mobile. Understandably so, because mobile is a huge thing for us. But once mobile starts to go into more of a full release and more completion, we'll be looking into bank placeholders in particular.
I think I'll speak to the mobile guys about this on the couch, but the fact that we started the mobile members only beta is obviously a massive step for us.
Yep.
So, obviously these guys are going to be very excited to talk about that, but obviously that's a huge step in regards to mobile for RuneScape. So that's good news. Group Ironman?
Group Ironman is shelved
Right. Okay.
We did a lot of investigation. I mean, Ramen could talk about it maybe a little bit.
You can talk about it.
We did a lot of investigation work, technically and also design-wise, and it is just such a huge project that it is officially shelved. Doesn't mean it will never come out.
Yeah, that's the thing we need.
I think that's the thing. Yeah, shelved. You don't put things on a shelf and you never see them ever again.
Yeah.
You put them on a shelf and you get them back out of the shelf.
Yeah.
Great analogy there. Yeah, it doesn't mean it will never come out. It just means that we're currently not working on it in any capacity right now.
Okay. And then finally, loyalty Rework. Now, obviously, we have to get into a backstory behind this because,
this is why you're never allowed to leave live streams.
This is why I can never go and, be away because my daughter's been born or whatever. So obviously, just for a backstory, in case some people aren't aware, prior to RuneFest, there was the mention of loyalty Rework. At the time, to players, of course, we'd been quiet. We hadn't really told them what was going on. So the mention of a loyalty Rework and then RuneFest in the same sentence was like, oh God, okay, it is happening. There was the expectation it was going to be at RuneFest. Why was it not at RuneFest in any way discussed, any way, shape or form?
Because, again, we weren't confident about being ready.
Okay.
Just because we didn't want to talk about RuneFest doesn't mean it's not being worked on. It's just something we're not 100% confident in, and we couldn't get out ready for that time. In terms of Loyalty Point rework, I am happy to say that we are going to release a dev blog about it. We're going to be releasing a dev blog with the full design in the coming weeks. I don't want to give an exact date.
No, I don't.
But Loyalty Point rework design will be with you guys in the next couple of weeks. So that's positive. That's a good thing.
That's good.
We are in design and development stages of it right now. So yeah, hopefully be able to share more with you in a couple of weeks' time.
So people are going to say, oh, well, here's an example. Someone said design in weeks. Well, just to clarify, the design is pretty much there, but it's more about translating that into a post for everyone, even from the veteran players who play, for the people who are just getting into RuneScape, to try and make sure that they understand our full approach to this. Is that
exactly. Yeah. So that the design is fully done and development work is being done on it. But it's just, we want to give give you the opportunity to give feedback on the design before we finalize it, and sort of all the internal things we need to get done with it. It's a lot of work translating designs to player-facing documents. I did it with the bank rework design a couple of years ago, and that was mental. And Osborne did it with the Elf City one.
Yes.
And I think I'm taking like 2 weeks just to translate our internal design document to an actual design document you guys could read. So it's not just us sitting around on our asses.
I remember trying to write up the mobile devlog this year in May when we had to try and summarize the results of the playtest that we did with players back in February, I believe, to get them ready for the May playtest. And obviously trying to convert that into information that is useful for players to give you like, okay, this was the worst stuff, we've improved this, and so on and so forth. It is tough because obviously, you've got to get it right. But the fact there's a dev blog on Loyalty Rework is great news.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be very exciting.
We'll include all of the, I don't want to say any features now, but if there's any new costs of items or whatever, they'll all be included so you guys can know exactly what's going to happen on the day of release.
Awesome. Right. So just to summarize, actually one more thing before I summarize everything that was announced in reveals. GameJam. I want to talk about it really quickly, if that's okay.
Oh yeah, sure.
So RuneScape GameJam. You had the pleasure, obviously, announcing that on the reveals stage. Just in case people haven't watched the VOD yet or just need a reminder, what's the summary of GameJam for this year?
Okay, so GameJam in general is a chance for you guys to come talk to us about the designs we're making or you guys want us to make. So in the past 2 years, we've done them in February last year and April this year. And we did things like Luck Rework, Buff Bar.
Lumbridge Creator Rework.
Lumbridge Creator Rework.
There you go.
Needle Skips is going to come was a GameJam project. The login screens.
On Needle Skips, seriously, one of the best quests I've ever played, hands down. Yeah. It's incredible. And for that to come from GameJam is just phenomenal.
Alchemical Onyx came from GameJam.
Look at the dwarfs, Hazelmere's.
Yeah, all this stuff came from GameJam. So that's what the GameJam is. We're normally on Discord and social media a lot over that weekend. You guys can chat to us. We have the designs written up, so you can just read our design documents and see us editing them in live on Google Docs. So that's starting again a week Thursday, 18th.
Oh, it's weird to say it's that close, jeez.
Yeah,
a week 18th,
Thursday. 18th of October, which is a week Thursday. We're starting This time we're doing it a little bit differently. We have a bit of a design jam, and then a bit of a development jam, and sort of like a marmalade somewhere.
And then we present them on the stream on the Tuesday. Is that correct?
Yeah, and then we're having a content showcase the Tuesday after, which might be news to Shed and John behind the scenes, but.
Oh, Shed's not here. It's fine.
Oh, Shed's not here.
See, he wasn't even paying attention.
I wasn't even paying attention.
I knew it.
In the chat.
I knew it.
We got away with it. It's fine.
Oh goodness.
What?
No, just no. It's okay. Don't worry
I'll tell you
about it.
later. It's
You
fine.
might have been volunteered for something, John.
What's plum jam?
What?
What's plum jam? That's what you were typing in the chat. Some
jam.
plum.
It's design jam. Then
Right.
Dev jam.
And then
Plum.
Jam. It's fine.
So yeah, it starts a week Thursday. We have a number of themes which will be released in a news post at some point, I think. Also news to you, maybe.
yeah, that's news to me. Yeah.
The three we talked about on stage were combat diversity, reducing data escape, and decluttering the game.
Yeah.
And along with decluttering the game, one of the examples is removing mobilizing armies, which is the example.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that one. Just want to mention that someone said about in-game titles to fix my titles. Yes, we are trying to fix it.
There are people literally upstairs working on it right
I
now.
cannot tell you. Yeah, it's a big one to fix, but yes, there are people fixing it. So you will get your titles back soon, and trust me, when that day comes, we will tell you.
How will people know I'm an Ironman?
You've got a quick chat option.
Keep spamming it all the
Use your
time.
quick chat option.
Too busy
Oh,
telling people I'm an Ironman.
by the way. All right, so just to summarize kind of the reveals, what was announced. So in the next 4 to 5 months, here's what we're looking to release. 2 new quests, one being Needle Skips, one being the Christmas quest from the Black Ops team. The Til Death Do Us part event, which is now ongoing. We're going to be overhauling 2 skills from the ground up, mining and smithing. First update of January, which is it's just insane to say it's finally here, because it kind of became a meme. I think that's safe to say.
Oh yeah.
That it's pretty great that it's now reached here, which is good.
Yeah,
I mean,
finally.
Mike Jack said he had hair when you started working on it,
Which is true.
which is true. Yeah.
And then obviously we had the top GameJam update from 2018 back in April, which is the Alchemical Onyx Jewelry, which is obviously very exciting to
So
project.
3 new jewelries.
Project you and Moderator worked on, is that correct?
Yep, Mod Erator.
Erator, sure. And obviously with the commitment to GameJam projects coming early next year as a result of what comes
Oh
from
yeah,
GameJam.
I meant to say that. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So normally when we do a game jam, the update sort of lingers and languishes like Alchemical Onyx did this year. We actually have slots in January and February's release schedule to release game jam projects.
Black Ops, yeah. We'll be picking up the
Awesome.
game stuff.
So yeah, so designs that you help work on us with next weekend have a good chance of making it into game.
Got any idea of what you want to be working on during the game jam, or is it secret?
Me and Mod Deg are working on a small quest.
Ah,
I haven't fully decided what I want to do.
It's a sequel to anyone's favourite multiplayer quest.
Oof, clearly. I can't think of everyone's favourite multiplayer. Oh. No comment.
You heard us talk about it.
Yeah, no comment.
man. I mean, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to. Obviously, baby time aside, if there is time, yeah, I'd like to. And that's finishing off the thing you code reviewed for me back when TAP was around, which was race practice mode. I'd like to finish that.
There is something I would like to work on, which is introducing players to how to actually properly use abilities.
Yes.
So have you ever played Assassin's Creed 2, where you have Mario's little pit and you have to actually perform the ability?
Because you can't progress until you do that. Yeah.
So actually teaching players how to use abilities correctly, so freedom or anticipation or escape or surge to get out of certain situations. Something I'd like to do.
Cool.
That's kind of what I'm going for.
Nice. Where were we? Oh yeah, so more Game Jam projects with a commitment to release them early next year, which is good. We have, of course, the Achievement Bonanza, which you mentioned 3 achievements on stage.
Actually, 4 achievements.
4 achievements, sorry. I forgot about the last one, Surge, 1 tile. Over 100 achievements for a bit of fun, for some skillers, and also, we have the RuneScape high scores. Let's have a bit of fun, kind of mix up the ordering and, get people to start going for those rank increases. The culmination of Elite Dungeons, of course, with the Ambassador, with the Elite Dungeons 3. We're so excited for that. And then, of course, we're completely forgetting to the side. We always have the Ninja team plugging away at Ninja fixes in the background while all this is going on. So you can look forward to, of course, Ninja team slamming out quality of life fixes here, there, and everywhere, really. So that is the winter reveals, and that is kind of what we got coming up for the next 4 to 5 months. So, which is awfully exciting. So I think that's something to be hyped about for 2019. You know, you mentioned Fate working on an XXL project, whatever that may be, which is obviously very exciting for that. And again, just to reiterate, the reveals only go up to February of 2019, and that's what we've got coming up, and there's a lot more to get excited for.
It's like I said, everything we said was 100% guaranteed. There might still be things that are surprises. There are definitely other things in the works, but we're just not ready to talk about them right now.
Cool. Right. Can I get you two on the couch? We're going to talk about mobile.
I suppose.
Yeah, it's such an effort to ask. I know.
Don't walk
I
across
know.
the cameras.
Yeah, just don't do the classic walk across the cameras.
We've done that far too many times before. This time JD's now kind of like ushering us on from one side.
You're not on mic, so they can't.
Yeah, you're not mic, so they can't hear you, what you're saying.
So you're just talking to us.
Yeah, I got one.
We have to wait for John to activate your microphone, so bear with.
Okay.
And we of course got JD
We don't have shed. We don't have shed annoyingly now to come and give us a nice.
to set it up.
Actually anoint you with a mic.
This is now yours.
Alrighty.
Easy strokes, so it's all good.
So to my right, we have Mod Ashes, Mod Vader, and Mod JD. Hello, guys. JD, Ashes, and Vader are on here to talk about RuneScape on mobile. We have JD on here to talk about more of the social / hype aspect. Is that right?
I mean, to be honest, I'm not really sure why I'm here that much, but I'm happy to be
Why
here.
not?
I'm happy to talk about RuneFest, happy to talk about
Yeah,
mobile, general sort of, I suppose, response to it. And kind of how we're looking to move forward with it. That's why I've got these lovely gentlemen here as well.
You did volunteer a lot, to be fair.
Yeah.
All right, before we jump into mobile, I asked Timbo and Raven this question at the start of the stream, but RuneFest, you know, how did you guys find it? What was your favourite moment from it?
I will most certainly have to iterate the orchestra. I was not expecting that at all, and just considering the massive venue, like the sound quality of that orchestra was amazing.
Absolutely.
But yeah, other than that, just I was sort of in the mobile area all day, and it was really nice just to see people come sit, play, and just be kind of amazed really about how far we've come, and see some nice smiles on their faces and people wanting more, which is always good. So yeah.
Don't think I can really say anything different. I think the orchestra was amazing at Friday night. Just I think a lot of people came. They were loving it. It was really good. Even the show itself, I got some good laughs from people as well. It was good to see.
There you go.
Then, yeah.
So wait, you were just to clarify, you were on the show itself, is that right?
I played a small role.
Okay, what did you play, if you don't mind?
So, yes, I was part of the video for the internal section.
Okay.
We're inside of that, so I was doing my best acting impression, trying to mimic the great acting on stage, doing the stuff at the office. So I was the RuneScape guy. So.
You were the RuneScape guy. What an honor
That was quite
is.
interesting because he did that around the mobile area, so it was quite interesting seeing him there going, it's really hot in this suit, and him just jumping around everywhere.
But it was a lot of fun, doing a lot of doing the spaghetti with QA and all, and just getting involved with all the different departments and having a bit of fun. But yeah, it was my star moment.
What about you, JD?
Oh, this is my 5th RuneFest, and I was coming back and I was like, oh my god, 5, really? I've been here that long. But no, this was my favourite. I think the new venue was amazing. It was so much bigger. I was worried it was going to feel a little bit empty, but it really didn't. It really felt vibrant, and everybody was really enjoying themselves. My personal favourite thing, and I'm not sure that many people actually found out about it at the event itself, we had a wall where people were able to take pictures of themselves. They then got them printed out onto a sticker, stuck it onto a wall in a pre-described location, and it made a massive mosaic.
Which is it's actually
in our campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's kind of a bit like
really impressive.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's kind of a bit like the signature wall, but we felt it was a little bit more personalised, a little bit less likely to get vandalised and graffitied on. So that was really, really nice. If you want to see what it looks like, it's on my Twitter. Jagex JD, cheeky.
Oh, that's a cheeky promo if I've ever heard one. Goodness. I do want to mention, obviously, you can go to Diango in-game right now and get yourself a RuneFest drinking horn if you have not already. That is going to be there, well, we don't know how long, until whenever we decide to get rid of it, really. So basically, just go grab it before we decide to remove it, as a heads up on that one. So, let's jump on to RuneScape on mobile. So at the end of the reveals presentation, we announced the news that RuneScape mobile was coming out to Android for members only. That, of course, released yesterday at 2 o'clock.
Yes, it did.
Sure did.
How has it been? How's it been?
A lot of forum and social
Yes.
checking.
I've never been so popular in my life. Getting a load of
tagging these guys
posts.
in all of the
Yeah.
tweets.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah, my
Yeah.
notification on Twitter has just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's been really, really good. Some really good stories as well from the players. So I had some people just walking into lampposts and all, playing RuneScape, too busy.
That was
No
a good
XP
one,
waste.
Sweden, some players.
Yeah, we had the first toilet post.
Oh yeah, you guys
after
retweeted
about,
that.
after about 10 minutes, I think. So that was that. I think that was the pinnacle for me.
Because literally, because I have a tweeting on my left monitor just to monitor anything coming in. Now on my timeline, I just see RuneScape retweeted, and there's a picture, and the thumbnail, of course, is just skin and legs, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
I can't even claim the credit for that one. That was Modniku. But
Oh, you've done a ramen, Vader? Really? You haven't got Shed to help you though. It's fine.
I'm going to have to look after myself, aren't I?
So yeah.
There
we go,
Is that better?
John's
Is that
on.
all right?
He's fixed it. It's
There
fine.
we go.
So I just obviously spotted on the chat as it rolled through. I just want to. So someone put, is it just the forums that we check? We don't. We check. So
Reddit.
forums is the main place we will check,
Yeah.
but we will also look on our Twitters, Reddit, anything that's assigned to generally the RuneScape. There's currently a hashtag going around on Twitter. It's RS Mobile. So I have that checked on TweetDeck. Just waiting for anything that comes through.
so proud of everyone using Tweet.
So yeah, it's not just the forums. We do check pretty much everywhere that we can to get as much information and feedback from you guys, so that we can obviously make it bigger and better and stronger.
So obviously we're at this point now where we've hit cap. Cap was 25k. The popularity has seen us hit that.
Yes,
Now
it has.
obviously people are going to want. Some people have been down. They want to know when the cap is increasing. Do we have any news on that whatsoever?
At the moment, no. However, that will eventually change. So at the moment, we kind of want to let it settle where it is, get as much kind of feedback as we can from everyone here. Once we realise that it's all kind of prioritised, we've released a lot more content to help fix the problems the guys are currently having. We're happy that the stabilisation issues of the phones and all the crashes and stuff are fixed. We'll then open it again. But at this moment, there is no official, hey, we're going to extend this cap by so much by then.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense, does it, to let loads of people in when if there are sort of clear issues with it.
So we have found a lot. Like the guys have been fantastic at putting a load of tweets in and forums and stuff of just saying this is crashed because of this, or I've looked at this interface and it's just kind of blown up on me, and like there's a few bits and pieces and we are aware of them. And we're now prioritising all of this feedback to make sure that we can get it done in a timely manner that everyone can still obviously enjoy what they've got. So
Yeah, I think we'll aim to do it in chunks though, won't we? We'll do it sort of similar amounts of people being let in at the same time.
I would like to think that would be the way.
So obviously, I think it's safe to say that with the beta itself, like where are we looking at? Is this running for only 2 weeks? Like, what's the deal? Is it just going to be continuous? What's the idea here?
It is continuous now.
So anyone who has access now will basically get the updates. as they
Pretty
go.
much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you should get your standard, obviously, content stuff every Monday. So, obviously, and we're going to hopefully try and push out stuff weekly to make sure that we fix as much as we can as quickly as possible.
So we're kind of looking at side-by-side tandem mobile and content releases now then.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Awesome.
We are one team after all. We're not segmented at all.
Nice.
Got to bring it together.
Yeah.
So obviously, the clue was in the name. It's Android-only tests. What's the deal with iOS at the moment?
Well, the last I heard, we're looking in the new year.
Yeah.
In the new year, okay.
As it stands, no official dates. We're still actively working on it. It's not shoved off to one side or anything. We're just making sure that is in a really good state. That when we release it, it is pretty robust and good to go. We've got kind of the same sort of issues between sort of Android and iOS. So once we resolve it for one, we should just be able to kind of port it over for the iOS side of things, and it should be a lot more stable when we eventually get to that point.
And that would be, rather than full release, that would probably be an iOS.
Yeah, it'll be similar to what we're doing now. We let a size amount of players in, they get involved, start giving feedback, make sure it's all.
So obviously, like the milestones essentially, right?
Yeah.
Pretty, like big
Just going to
milestones.
milestones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we look at obviously mobile as in regards to its importance, it's a massive step for RuneScape. Obviously, it's a massive step for old school as well. When we look at it, just to clarify, like some players have been saying stuff like, oh, mobile's taking away members from the team and stuff. Like, is there anything you can say regarding that?
We haven't stolen anyone.
No.
There's been 3 developers ever since we started this, and we only have had 1 rotation out where Mod Hunters moved away back into Ninja to help with all of that stuff, and we've had Mod Edge come in and join us. But other than that, that's literally it. Like, you guys in QA have been with us from the start, pretty much.
Yeah, a lot of QA staff been pretty much the same throughout the project. I came in earlier this year to sort of bolster the QA effort as well for that. Haven't been on Ninja for a long time, then moving over to mobile to help out there. So
it's worth interjecting and mentioning that the RuneScape team is getting bigger all the time.
Yeah. Actually, no. So while
the RuneScape team so we are hiring now.
Actively hiring.
I'm glad you said that.
And we'll have more people in the RuneScape team next year than we did this year.
Absolutely.
We had more people in the RuneScape team this year than we did last year.
Yep.
And you see where this is going, right?
Yeah.
We're not active. We're not like moving people or people to mobile or anything like.
Nothing at all.
The RuneScape team is getting bigger, and we just want to reassure everyone that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because obviously in the old school presentation there was a slide where it mentioned how their team has grown and stuff like that. Might have been useful if we had it for RuneScape, but regardless, I mean, that's nice to reiterate as well. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
So yeah, on top of that, obviously any new hires will not be probably coming straight to mobile. They will sit within the RuneScape team.
Yep.
But
Bit
it
back to the
has
file, I would imagine.
a little bit, yeah. Hi, here's mobile.
Mobile.
No. But yeah, so obviously as well as that, the rest of the guys, as they are making their content, obviously test it on mobile as well. So it's not just us that do it all. Hopefully you are.
Of course, mate, 100%.
No, the mod settle is all on that. Yes.
All over it.
Which is really useful.
It's nice because mobile has reached a point where not many issues are actually cropping up.
Yeah.
And devs are all thinking about things with mobile in mind, which is obviously
It's just, it's the way we want it to be at the end of the day, don't we?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So just for people watching might not be aware of obviously what you two do specifically in mobile. So what do you both do specifically in the mobile team?
So my actual title is I'm a senior technical developer, which allows, it kind of means that it allows me to do all these things. That's really the wrong word. I should not have said that. Damn you for picking that up again. So I basically go through all the back-end code and make sure that anywhere that needs kind of mobile presence or some slight adjustments because of mobile, I will sit down and write. So along with myself, Mod Edge and Mod Pi, who are the 3 developers all on there, we have sort of revamped the entirety of the top level to be mobile specific. Obviously Mod Hunter helped with that initially before he moved off. Mod Pi sits primarily on all the combat bits and pieces. As he's kind of head honcho for combat, he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Some players wouldn't like to believe that.
So, but he has a better head than myself or Edge. That's definitely true.
And me.
But yeah, so we all just kind of pitch in to make sure that anything that we adjust kind of doesn't affect desktop to start off with. And then obviously make sure it runs as smooth as possible for mobile.
So obviously you mentioned not affecting desktop. I want to bring up the game settings revamp. Was that agreed as like a mobile and desktop thing as well?
A little bit.
Yeah. No, it was like a lot of the settings rework was made prior to that. Like all of the design for that was made.
So the settings rework in essence was there before mobile even got near it, right?
Yeah, there was always a call that we were going to revamp the settings, and I think with mobile we were able to then say, yes,
Cool.
It's time.
it's
We
time
kind
to
of
do
need
this. It's like good. We need to get this to work for mobile. Maybe it's time we revamp the settings in general, make them a bit more
Awesome.
easier to follow.
Yeah, I wanted to make that. I was hoping you guys would say that because I wanted to reiterate that point because obviously the perception was mobile have come along and obviously mobile's updates are now affecting the desktop version.
Yeah.
Whereas in essence, actually, this was a thing before mobile work had started. So yeah, okay.
There was a point where we did quite heavily break desktop with chat and bits and pieces, and I'll hold my hands up. That was me. I broke that. I'm sorry. I fixed it though very quickly and got it all back up and running. Sorry.
But what we've seen, say for instance, with the old school mobile, process is actually there are things that are going into the mobile client that actually the desktop players want as well, like the spellbook stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a great example of stuff that actually can be transferred over the other way around as well.
Yeah.
On a personal note, I'd love the mini menu from mobile on desktop. That would be amazing.
Yeah, possibly.
That's one example.
We are, yeah. So we're also treating mobile. They may kill me upstairs for saying this. As a little bit of a soft launch for stuff like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's not that juicy.
it's not that juicy. No, I know, right?
Same with the chat.
Get that hype in. Here we go. So we're just making sure that obviously everything works. That we're happy that it's again stable enough that we can port it over, and hopefully when it does come over, players will not realise that it's actually happened. That's kind of the
So
idea,
it's a matter
right?
of getting to that point.
Yeah.
So the dream is literally we will make something, it will work on both, and you'll never know where it originated from, essentially.
Vader, I'm going to come over to you. Obviously, you didn't quite get into what you do in regards to the mobile team. So what are you doing in regards to the mobile team?
Well, basically everything he said I have to test to make sure it works.
So it's just across mobile devices
QA,
and so on.
I'm QA for mobile, along with Mod Yara, Mod Puppy, Mods
Mod Puppy.
Puppy. He
The
does
thing
more
is,
old school
right,
stuff.
some of the-
Mod Puppy.
I've never heard that mod name.
Mods Meerkat.
I genuinely have I've never heard these.
So these are all new QA
These are all our new
that
QA
were hired
for mobile.
being hushed away in a corner, kept quiet. Okay.
They're not confident enough yet to come and show their faces.
I've tried. I asked. They want to send me instead.
It's intimidating. It is intimidating, and that's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
But yeah, a lot of the stuff has been very much. It's making sure that both games are preserved, that the style.
Jesus.
I am just having.
Stroke his beard when you're here.
John's coming in.
Oh no!
Oh, my John's here.
Where's Shed got?
It was actually me. It was self-sabotage.
We were getting into such a flow of things, and it's just being completely.
I'm sorry, I have a really bad. I talk with my hands, so it's just like the cables.
Not the only one. Don't
Cables
worry.
beware. Yeah, but basically testing on mobile, testing on Android, testing on iOS. I think coming from Game QA, a lot of things you take for granted whenever you come onto a new platform.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like a lot of things, why can this interface not be pointed over? It's like it may not work on a mobile. So we have to try and have a bit of rejig of that, a little bit of rework and things like that. And that's where we've come across these avenues to explore things. As you said, like with NPC chat, for example. Big example for it.
Which obviously was a very recent release. I mean, in regards to interfaces and stuff like that, this was months ago. I think it's when we did the May test where we converted like 300, 400 interfaces into the mobile efficient.
And there's still more to do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sadly. But yeah, they will eventually get converted because they kind of need to be, really.
As soon as possible.
So one last thing, and then we'll jump on to general questions, and that will take us to about 6 o'clock, which is good. So last thing for me really is, what, if you're able to say, what's the focus next for you guys? Mobile Android beta is out for members.
Yep.
You mentioned obviously iOS getting there, but what's next for mobile?
I think just getting it stabilised, really.
Going,
we know we've got a few issues, and getting those issues prioritised properly and out as quickly as possible is probably our next, at least short-term goal.
Yeah.
Long-term, I think, is just making sure that everyone upstairs is happy with what we're doing, and essentially we can then slowly be rolled back into some of the development teams. That's kind of the really long-term goal, that mobile is just another platform that we release to, that content comes out for.
Whereas then you guys obviously go back into the content team, but then essentially when you're developing your stuff, it then is developed in line with mobile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
So yeah.
So in essence, when obviously mobile comes out, obviously you mentioned in regards to mobile milestones holding up the bank rework, not only does it open that up, but then it opens up avenues for more content as well from teams. So, it's a matter of just getting there. And, the Android mobile beta was obviously, I can reiterate again, a very big step for that, especially for RuneScape.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
You can actually play it now.
Yeah, which is
They
exciting.
kind of know what all the hype's about.
I've been laying in bed, just chilling, doing some skilling on my own.
Chilling and skilling.
Yeah, checking player and farm and stuff. That's what I'm doing.
I need to stop. I honestly need to stop playing my hardcore Ironman on my mobile still. I've really slacked on that.
Yeah.
Why hardcore? Jeez.
Hardcore, I genuinely like for me, because honestly, apart from 120 Slayer is the
Fear into the game.
Puts the risk
120 Slayer, like, it holds me back on comp. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I've hit this point now where I've done as much as I can. I wanted to do Warden at Telos. That was my biggest thing. That's done. I don't know what else I can do. I'm still waiting on my Royal Dragon from Player Run Farm. Still hasn't happened. So I just wanted to start again and have that real challenge of hardcore Ironman, and have that scary moments of oh my god, if I die I lose it all.
Yeah.
So it's
Mobile only hardcore Ironman.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I heard.
Hardcore Iron Man like really puts the fear into RuneScape.
Yeah, it did for me.
Did you? You put the fear into people yesterday, didn't you?
Oh yes. Yes, that could have gone horribly wrong. That's what happens. Like this is what happens when you just miss a simple bracket, and like I think
So the Silent Life Bug was literally a bracket.
it was just a bracket. Wow. It was a bracket on the other side. Like
Wow.
the bracket should have been here, and it was over. Yeah.
There you go. Silent Life Bug was a bracket.
Wow.
That is it.
Oh, that is.
And there it is.
I can feel it into Robin's heart.
Yeah.
Who would win? One curly boy or
Yep.
Yeah.
20,000 hardcore Ironman?
That was a great meme when I saw that.
It was good.
My heart's going.
Oh my god, what have I done?
So we'll jump into some general questions there. We're getting ready to wrap up. One for you, Timbo, which is based on mobilising armies.
yeah.
When it gets removed, what's going to happen to people with credits of mobilising armies?
Someone asked me on this on Twitter actually. So there's not decided yet. The plan is to do one or both of these things. So reward credits, leave a vendor in for now. Leave the rewards vendor in so you can spend your reward credits and then remove them all at some point. So if you still wanted to buy something, you could buy it before. Like you got like a 3-month period to buy it more. For investment credits, probably converting back to coins, but at a harsh rate, so you cannot invest now to make more money than you would normally do. So you can't invest like 1 million GP into investment credits now to make 2 million GP. That's the thing. But the plan is to do one or both of those.
So just so Thal's not going to be considered one?
No.
Okay,
no,
cool. Just
no
wanted to get that out of the way.
Not converted to Thala because, yeah.
I like Thala. Thala's great. What about titles? Do you know? Because
They-
War Chief is the best title.
Getting
in the game.
distributed.
He's totally got it. It's good stuff.
they are going to be drops.
Drops, nice.
Cool, yeah,
That's
I like
good.
that.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's awesome. Do we know what? Are we able to say what from, or are we
Nope.
still unstuck? Okay, cool.
On the shelf.
Should I go with the rest of the rewards, shall I?
Got from the shelf.
Indeed.
Your call. It's
So
your thing. If you want to, I'm not
So-
going to make you reveal it all unless you want to. It's your call.
we're removing quest kits because quest kits are garbage.
Cool.
They're just not coming back with the tool belt there. So they're getting completely removed. If you have a quest kit right now, it's not getting removed, but it'll be in like a no longer, it'll be a discontinued item.
Yep.
Locators will be craftable with divination. And we're improving the interface of that and including some new resources like crystal trees and elder trees.
Oh, nice.
So that should be useful. And imbuing rings, I don't actually know. I said somewhere, and then everyone was like, gave me feedback and said, no, don't do it there.
Okay.
Um,
But obviously, when we get close to the time, we'll.
do I reveal the other thing?
Yes. Do it.
Oh,
You've said it now, Timbo.
So with the removal of mobilizing armies, we're looking to make high-level rings imbuable.
Hey.
That's the most northern I've ever sounded.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Wasn't ready for that.
So at the same time as removing imbuing from mobilizing armies and putting it somewhere else,
Holy-
wherever that somewhere else is, we're looking to imbue high-level rings.
Can I imbue my Hazelmere signet?
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh man. Okay.
Stats to be decided, but
mic drop.
yeah.
Oh, I'll do it for you. Sorry.
So not only do we have a summary of RuneFest, you've got a nice little... This is why you should watch these streams, everyone. And if you don't watch these streams and you're watching it on a VOD, you miss out on the reveals and the good stuff. So by now, people are probably buying and selling everything for extortionate prices. And it's because you've missed it on the stream.
I think they call that insider trading.
Yeah, climbing boots for you too.
I'm not the one who said this, so I take no responsibility for this. Right. Reveals.
Well spent mobilizing armies. The trim comp requirement's going.
Yep.
The area's probably going as well and being replaced with something else. Don't know what yet.
So the actual...
Any suggestions at Jagged's Timber or anyone in
So
the Ninja team?
the area and the environment around it.
Yeah.
Scrapped. Okay. Well, it would be nice to get 7 there, otherwise it'd just be dead. It'd be weird to have just dead space there in a way.
I kind of like the lack of trees there. It's
Will
fine.
the Ring of Dueling?
Of course you do.
Will the Ring of Dueling still teleport you there? Because that is my favoured.
Yeah, we're not sure what to do with the Ring of Dueling. Is it Ring of Dueling?
Ring
And
of
also
Dueling.
there's the standard spellbook as well.
Spellbook.
Yeah, there's a teleport within standard spellbook. And also the spirit tree.
Yeah, I mean the spirit tree has to stay.
Why? Because the interface.
Well, there's the jungle strike worms. There's the
Yeah, spirit tree will
Wisps.
probably stay, but whether the teleport and the Ring of Dueling still teleport.
Do you know, honestly, like, I actually miss the fact that we don't do these streams where we just go into the discussion of game knowledge and like design stuff like that. By the way, just listening to that, I thought it was amazing. Just listening to like you guys go back and forth about.
Oh, you'll know about it. You're doing a hardcore Ironman. You'll be there a lot.
I don't know. I just love stuff like that. Anyway. Here we go. Are there any plans to give players more bank space within the next year? It is a fair question. I mean, if you look at, let's say, for example, if you want to try and keep all your animals and play your own farms, each of them takes a space.
So
it's a problem.
there are no current plans, but we know that you want more bank space.
Okay, cool. And that one, it's mentioned we'll get access to the needle as a reward. Does this mean we'll own it as a bankable item like the measure, or will it stay stuck in the ground as shown in the concept art?
Don't know.
I have to ask, obviously, Moderaven and the judge does on that one, unfortunately. But that literally takes us to 6 o'clock on the dot. There you go. So that, I mean, there's a lot we've gone through. So hopefully we've done enough to give you an idea of, why we've done this or so on and so forth. We've had the mobile guys on here. We've had moderator, Modraman in regards to Til Death Do Us part event. Obviously, keep taking part in that and get excited for the next game update, then the next game update, and then the next game update because there's more things to expect. Oh, actually, and then the next game update after that, I think. Anyway, a lot of game updates coming up that involve the Til Death Do Us part event, so keep an eye out for that one. Of course, we had Timber on here where we talked about the reveals and a lot of other things as well. So I think, yes, I know it's 5 o'clock in-game time. Sorry, I should stick to game time, shouldn't I? But yes, that'll wrap it up. As a note for the RuneFest video content from the show itself, we are uploading it. There are. Actually, JD, this is your department. You've got this. Go ahead.
So the video team have taken a look at it, and the files are absolutely huge. So they're just going to import them, and then they'll edit them, stick a little top and tail on it. Then they'll export them again. So we'll hopefully have a nice steady flow of the main stage and the panel stage sessions for the next kind of week or so. So some good stuff to come on the YouTube channel. That'll be for RuneScape and for Old School as well, for anybody who's interested.
Nice.
And obviously, this is the first Dev Q&A since we made an announcement last week with regards to the RuneScape wiki. So, Raman, as you may have got all excited in the chat, picked up the yak.
asking all stream.
And the yak
On
actually.
the side.
Yeah. Oh, John, can we get a little camera
That's
shot?
why there is method in the madness.
Get a
There it is.
little zoom in.
Zoom in.
Look at this
Oh,
advertisement.
there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
We have officially moved over. Well, we've moved.
Lovely.
Well, the RuneScape wiki team have moved away from Wikia, and we are now over on RuneScape.wiki.
Can we make Raman the spokesperson of RuneScape wiki?
Look at that.
This is great.
I
Just get a nice
I didn't think that was a trailer on the website.
I met them at RuneFest. They were lovely people. Obviously, very hyped to have moved away from fandom and Wikia. As I'm pretty sure all of us have spent a mass amount of time on the RuneScape wiki.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Very helpful.
The conversion from fandom to our own hosting means that, we're not going to have obtrusive adverts up in your face. We're not going to have videos to play that have nothing to do with what you're looking at. And it also means that, we can give the wiki guys as much help as we can to provide you who use that as a resource, the best experience possible. So, massive shout out to them. Those guys have absolutely smashed it. Obviously, we kind of took their website down when we first announced it, so apologies for that. But, they're often going, and those guys are just doing an incredible job. I'm going to ask one more question, Timbo. Something said about drop rates. Anything to do with drop rates at all? Do you see yourself revealing anything in the near future?
Modsova released the Elite Dungeons
Yes, he
did. Last week.
Yep, last week.
Go look at that.
Nice.
Well deflected.
Deflected that very well. But yes, I think that will bring us to the end. So by all means, check out the RuneScape wiki at runescape.wiki or rs.wiki. And also, in the meantime, we will see you for, I believe, Friday, the Patch Notes teasers. That's going to be with Mod Porky and Mod KOC. But I think apart from that, we will say goodbye, and we'll head on over to next Monday's game updates. And then, of course, I should mention we have a stream next Tuesday as well. Is that correct?
Yep, covering some more of the RuneFest related shenanigans.
More RuneFest to cover as well. Just doesn't ever end, does it?
Then a surprise stream a week after that.
And then, oh yes, and then the surprise stream. John doesn't have any idea what it's about. It's great. And I'm going to be really soppy, and as always, and say, hello to my beautiful little daughter at home and my wife. And
She is adorable.
It's the way the stream is going to end now all the time. So unfortunately, you guys are going to have to get used to it because I just missed them terribly. But apart from
you need a
that,
picture on here.
You do.
Oh yeah,
No,
can we
we
get a
don't.
frame?
Sorry, Robin.
Can we get a frame?
I've been waving for like 5 minutes.
I'm the master of just babbling on and like ending it. Right, so we're going to end it. Jeez, I'm sorry. It's my first stream in ages on the Dev Q&A. Anyway, that'll wrap us up. I think that'll bring us to the end. So thank you everyone for watching, and we'll say, apart from that, take care and have a good one.